How founders can find answers to their problems quickly. Hi, Patrick from Founder Revenue Academy. This episode is part of our proposition series and is episode number 3. So let's get started. Typically, the conception of a business has been born out of frustration with the status quo. So either it's an innovation to a current solution or a brand new way of working in order to solve this particular problem. So most founders I've interacted with follow this same path. They typically are an industry and there is a particular task they're trying to do that they're frustrated with. That frustration makes them think that there is perhaps a better way of doing something. Then they formulate that into a business. Then they think that, okay, I've actually got something here. I should start this business. And then the startup is born to create a solution to that problem. And then you've seen that over and over again. So with this in mind, the business is the answer to this particular problem. And so founders don't need to seek solutions. However, as the business grows, more challenges will present themselves, either externally or internally, that could present themselves as maybe good pivoting opportunities or another venture or another challenge that your current solution could fix. So where do you go for those answers? In my experience, getting your MVP ready and launched will give you immediate feedback and answer the questions, do we have a viable solution? So think about it. You launch something into the market, it could be a service or a product, and the market will tell you very quickly, with very little emotion, whether this is something people actually want. So the important word in the title of this video is quickly. So you're new to the game in terms of this particular business, and so you want to fail fast. There is going to be lots of opportunities to fail. The faster you can do that and learn from it, the better. You want to do that, regroup, and go again, and having to repeat this process. So who cares if you don't nail it first time? You get up, you go again. So this trial and error approach, leaning into what's difficult, is where your hypothesis will be validated or not so. And this is to be the first strategy that I'd recommend. Launch the MVP, trial and error, iterate and go again. If you're a little older in business terms, having a company board is something to consider. So depending on the makeup of your company, board members and non-executive directors, or NEDs, as they're often referred to, can offer you great advice in the early stage dependent on their background. The resumes of these individuals is important because you want them to be experienced in your area and who you're selling to, but also complementary amongst themselves. So you might have someone with a product background, someone with a marketing background, someone with a finance background, by ways of example. And what this will do is it will create a balanced view of your board so you can draw on different experiences as and when the time is appropriate. The other perhaps obvious one is to conduct specific research into the problem to find answers. However, this is predicated on the idea that you can clearly define what it is that you're researching to solve. The challenge with this is that if you're not clear on what you're solving, then the research part is really tough and can take you down a rabbit warren of dead ends. And you end up going around and round and round and round and round in circles. So the way to get around this is to commit time to thinking about the problem, writing down the problem, but also thinking about, if you solve that problem, what is that solution going to enable you to do? Or what results do you feel that it will get you? This is a great method for not just your own problem solving, but also for when you're positioning your product as outcome-led and not just feature-led. That wraps up today's video. Remember, we create these videos a lot to help our founders and run these mini-series and all the key pillars of scaling B2B tech startups. So if you haven't seen the other videos in this proposition series or the other series at all, please check them out. And also don't forget to join our community, which is the link below, where you'll see all this content and get to interact with many like-minded founders. I'll see you in there.